Hey guys, this is Parker and I thought I would just do a video about the LiveScribe Smart Pen Pro Edition. This is the pen, and what this pen does is as you write with it, it links all of the voices, like what your professor says, what you say, what another student in your class says, and it links it to your iPad. So therefore, whenever you're going back to study, you can just go back to your iPad, find the notebook, find the page, click on the text, and you can re-listen to all of your lecture notes again. This is what the notebooks look like. They come in black, red, orange, and blue, I believe. They have a bunch of buttons on the side, which I never really use any of these. The only ones I use was to tell the pen which hand I write with. And then what I do is I tear these pages out and I put them in binders and categorize them by different classes. So if I have 5 classes, I have 5 sections binder. And to make sure that you keep the pages in the right page order, because they all are numbered, because that's how you find them on your iPad or your Android device, is you go back and find the page number. All the buttons down here, you have the record, pause, and stop, which really, these are the only buttons that I use. I have never used any of these other buttons besides like the volume button I've used, but any of these I don't ever use. I don't know really what they do. But those are the buttons, and you have to use this kind of notebook paper because if you look really close, it has a bunch of little dots, and that's how it picks up. See, there's a little camera down in here, which you can't see. There's a camera there, and then the pen comes out here, and then you just twist it, which is, it's dead. I haven't used it. Oh, it's not dead. I haven't used it all summer long because I'm out of class. And then you turn it, and then the blue light means that it's connected. And so whenever you turn the blue light on, it's going to do this on your iPad, and I just hit continue, and then it will start to, and then this over here tells you that the pen is connected, and also it means that it's dying. Like I said, I haven't used this all summer long because my summer classes were online. But, so that's the pen, and then when you turn it off, it goes away up there. That way it's not connected anymore. The pen does last, I could probably use one charge for about 2 weeks. So this is notes. These are what the notes look like that I draw. This isn't the binder I use. These are just all of my other class notes that I put in one big binder. But I'm a psychology major, and this is the ANOVA. And if you've ever had to do the ANOVA, it's a big giant math equation, and it takes up about 4 pages. So it's a very long one. And so what I loved about this pen is I could take the notes, and then if I needed to go back and look at them again, or something didn't make sense, like I didn't know how I got a certain number, I could go back to my iPad, find the notes, click on them, and re-listen to my professor talk about it step by step. I take pretty organized notes, so I didn't really have to do that a lot, but I do remember there was some cases that I had to. I think it was over here. I couldn't remember how something happened, and I did highlight stuff to help me because there was so much, so I did highlight. But this is what we're going to go over here, and these are the notes from that page. It's page 216, and I already have the notes brought up. Come on, there it goes. And did it do what I think it did? Okay, so what it did, when I hit Pencast, it went all the way to the very beginning of this Pencast. This Pencast is 48 minutes long, which is about right because the class I was in was 50 minutes. So okay, so this is the page that I wanted. So here's the page that I wanted. So I'm going to click start. I don't know if you can hear this. Let me turn it up. So that is my professor's voice that you hear. And the best thing about this is the text will start to turn. See how it's turning green? It went gray and now it's starting to go green. That's because it's keeping up with the pen as I talk, or as the professor talks. It's really nice. So that's how that works. And then to just go back to the actual page, you just hit page, and it takes you back to the page. And then how this app kind of works, I'll take you out of it completely. This is my iPad. This is the front page. This is what the app looks like. You'll click on it. These are where all your notebooks are kept. These two are completely full, and this is the red one that I'm at, and you can scroll down. My iPad screen is really, there it goes, it's really dirty, so it's not picking up everything. So I'll click on the red notebook because that's the notebook pages, And these are all the pages that I have used. And so if you want a page, you just scroll through until you find the right page number. One thing I wish that this app would change is I wish they would let you search the page number, and that it would bring it up and you could just click on it instead of having to scroll through every single page. Usually whenever I go to take notes, after you write for so long on the actual, like on the piece of paper that you're writing on, the iPad will pop up that page. So I guess that's kind of helpful too. Instead of like scrolling through to find page 215 when you're only on page 137, it's helpful if you just start writing on the page. The iPad will bring it up itself, and then it'll just continue. So that's pretty much this. The only thing that I don't like about this is the app seems to be a little slow. It doesn't keep up sometimes, and when my pen is dying, it doesn't keep up with it either. There's I don't know if I have any pages where the ink kind of went out, but I can probably go on a full thing of ink for pretty much a whole semester, give or take sometimes. And see, like I do have these graphs, so I can go back and look at these graphs, which this is one that I knew I went back and looked at because I couldn't understand the graph. I had messed up on scrolling in the wrong side, and so when I went back and looked, I could tell the professor was talking, and I made sure what I was doing was right. There's more pages, but yeah, this is just kind of, it's really helpful, and I do highlight. That is something also I wish they would have done, maybe, is have a highlighter pen that does pop up on the actual iPad itself. But with what I do, it works also. So here's another big equation, the null hypothesis, independent sample, t-test I was doing, so I could go back and look at all this too. But yeah, you can buy the LiveScribe pen on the LiveScribe website. The one I got was $1.99, but I bought it with a discount and it was on sale, so I only paid like $1.50. It was really nice. This is the charger. It just plugs into your laptop, and I charge it that way. And so you plug it in right there, and it charges. It doesn't take much to charge. The only thing I have noticed is that it does, because I hold it like this with obviously my right hand, but the oils of my hand are making it fade right there. It's not a big issue for me. I don't really care, but that is the problem. This is what it looks like. And this also is a stylus to write on your iPad. So, but yeah, that's the LiveScribe Pro Edition. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, this is Parker, and I thought I would just do a video about the LiveScribe Smart Pen Pro Edition. This is the pen, and what this pen does is as you write with it, it links all of the voices, like what your professor says, what you say, what another student in your class says, and it links it to your iPad. So therefore, whenever you're going back to study, you can just go back to your iPad, find the notebook, find the page, click on the text, and you can re-listen to all of your lecture notes again. This is what the notebooks look like. They come in black, red, orange, and blue, I believe. They have a bunch of buttons on the side, which I never really use any of these. The only ones I used was to tell the pen which hand I write with.